Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm so glad you could join me today. I have a Christmas card project for you today, and I'm using the Snowman Season Suite, and I'm using some of the paper and some of the stamps. Let's just get started. Okay, here is our card project. I had not had a chance to work with this stamp set yet until today, and I've got to tell you that this is just, and I don't do a lot of cute, but this little critter is so joyful. I really enjoyed putting this card together. So let me tell you what you need to make this card. I used a piece of Whisper White that is 8.5 by 5.5 scored and folded at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece, I've changed it up just a little bit. I decided it would be a little bit better with a Coastal Cabana background around the paper. So I have a piece of Coastal Cabana that is 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper from the Snowman series. And look at that sparkle, isn't that fun? And so this one is 3 3/4 by 5. And that's going to go like that and make the front of our card. I like the finishing piece, I think, around this one to bring out the Coastal Cabana. Then I have a piece of Whisper White that's 2 3/8 by 3 5/8, and a piece of Coastal Cabana to go behind it that is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. Then I have another piece of this paper for the inside. I put a strip of the paper, a stamp, and then some snowflakes in the Coastal Cabana. And this piece is 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/8. All right, so we're going to do our work on this piece, and I am using the Snowman Season stamp set, and let's see where there's glare. I'm using this little guy here, and I'm using this piece on the inside and the Let It Snow on the outside. And I'm using Memento, Tuxedo Black, and Coastal Cabana. I thought it was kind of a fun, non-traditional color Christmas card and very easy to put together. And I'm also using a little bit of our metallic edged ribbon with the silver edging on it and a few sequins. So first thing we need to do is do our stamping, and I have my stamps mounted here. Got my snowman, and what we're going to do is kind of put him right up at the top of this so we have plenty of room to do our Let It Snow on the back side, or on the bottom. I'm just going to take those marks off of there. And this is kind of a big stamp, so you want to make sure that you get it good and inked up. In fact, it's a photopolymer, and I really should have a Pierce mat underneath it. Here I've got a Pierce mat and some scratch paper, and so I'm going to continue to ink this up. In fact, this wouldn't be a bad one to do in the Stamparatus to get it just perfect in case you had to stamp it again. And I'm going to put it right up here at the top, because I'm not sure you get a completely crisp image on this without doing this a couple times. Let's see how we do. That's not bad. I've got the image pretty well on there. And then I have my Let It Snow stamp here, all ready to go, right down underneath. There we go. Very good. All right. So I have that done now, and I'm going to do a little bit of coloring. I used my pumpkin pie marker on his carrot nose, and then I used the colors that coordinate with this are Real Red and Flirty Flamingo. So I thought his scarf could be Flirty Flamingo and Coastal Cabana to bring out the colors in the paper. And so I'm just going to do my coloring, and I'll speed this up because there's nothing special about this at all. It's just getting the color down. Okay, so that is the stamping for the front of the card. Now on the inside of the card, we can do our stamping as long as I've got my ink out here. I think maybe the smart thing to do would be to put this piece in place so I would know right where I want to stamp. So I'm going to put some glue on this strip and put this in place on the inside just at the fold to add a little bit of color and not impede the folding of the card. So now I have my stamp, and I want my stamp kind of centered at the top here, and it's a nice sentiment. And this is going to go right up here, hoping this season builds heartwarming memories. I thought that was nice, and that's one of the stamps in the suite. Got a little smudge, so I'll have to work that out. Then I'm using my Coastal Cabana ink to get a few snowflakes on the inside of the card to add to the bringing the outside into the inside, and using that Coastal Cabana ink, I'll take this little smudge off afterwards, off camera. I think that is all of my stamping and coloring. Now that this is dry, I did use my Wink of Stella pen all over the snowman and his scarf and his hat and the snow right underneath him and the tree and the little snowflakes here. I just decided to use it all over. And then I wanted to also get some Wink of Stella on the Let It Snow message. And what I'm doing is, off camera, I am wiping my brush so that I don't transfer color. And as I move from the various different colors that are on here. There we go. So now I've got snow on my message. I've got it on my snowflakes, on my tree. I'm going to put some underneath here and just lavishly cover this little guy with some Wink of Stella. I think it adds a little bit to him. It's nice to have sparkles. All right, so we're ready. This is a very fast little card. This is one you could do in production if you wanted to make a handful of them. I thought this would be a great fun card with a little message or a little money or something like that for a grandchild. It's such a festive looking, and he's such a cheery looking little character. All right, so what I'm going to do is put my pieces together here, and I'm going to add this designer series paper. Don't you love it when designer series paper does a lot of the heavy lifting? It just does so much work. Now I am going to put this guy up on dimensionals. Okay, I did forget to put on my little piece of ribbon, so I am going to go ahead and do that and put a little bit of glue on the back side of my ribbon. Ribbon isn't really necessary, but I thought it added to the sparkle here on the card. So we're going to put this around this piece. Then this piece is going to go on the front of our card just flat, and this panel will be raised. So I'm going to add some snail adhesive here to this piece and put this in place. And you can see that this is just very quick. The whole thing is just as fast as it can be. A little bit of stamping, very little bit of coloring. And then I'm centering this one on the front of my card. And then I have my sequins from our iridescent sequin mix, and I have taken 3 sequins and used, let's see, where's my, oh there it is, my pick tool to get out the sequins that have kind of the blue cast to them, and I thought 3 was just enough to go ahead and put a little bit of extra sparkle on here. And so I'm going to put these on glue dots and then put them on my card. And that will be my project for today. Okay, so one up here, one over on this side, and one down here on my card. And there we go. My card is complete. And that is the project for today. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator, and or you could join my team. I think it would be lovely to have you on my team. Let's see, my prize draw for the month of October is a bundle out of the holiday catalog of your choice. And all it takes to be in my drawing is to put an order on my website, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.ingenuity.com. So thanks again for stopping by, and I'll be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye!